There's a shape in your birth chart that looks like nothing but conflict on paper. Two planets locked in opposition, both slamming into a third, called a T-square. And it might be the actual engine behind everything you've ever accomplished under pressure. Most people assume constant internal tension means something is wrong with them. Nobody tells them the tension was never the problem. It was always the fuel. Here's the trap. You feel pulled in two directions by that opposition so often that you start treating the tension itself as the enemy, spending years trying to resolve it, silence it, or medicate it away instead of asking what it's actually for. You chase peace and quiet in a chart that was never built to give you peace and quiet. It was built to give you drive. So every time the pressure shows up, right on schedule, you experience it as failure instead of the exact mechanism doing its job. Left unexamined, this becomes a lifetime of exhausting internal war, burning enormous energy just holding the opposition apart, with nothing to show for the effort because you never once pointed it anywhere. Worse, you start envying people with calmer, easier charts, wishing away the very tension that, redirected, could outproduce almost anyone. Nobody ever told you the fight isn't a flaw. It's a specific, structural instruction you've never been handed the manual for. Think about the recurring inner conflict that shows up in your life again and again, no matter what you change on the outside. Comment your T-square's focal planet below if you already know it. And if you don't, that's exactly what this video is about to help you find. The fix starts with locating your T-square's focal planet, the one planet catching both squares, the pressure point where the whole pattern actually wants to discharge. A focal Mars needs a physical outlet for the tension, real exertion, real competition, real risk. A focal Saturn needs a structure to build inside of, deadlines, discipline, a long project. A focal Sun needs visible leadership, a stage, a role people can actually see. You can't resolve a T-square by calming down. You resolve it by aiming. Then stop trying to make the opposition go away, and instead schedule the focal planet real, regular work. Not once, not in a crisis, but as a standing appointment. Give a focal Mars a fight it's allowed to have. Give a focal Saturn a structure it's allowed to build. Give a focal Sun a room it's allowed to lead. The tension was never going to disappear. It was only ever going to sit there and used, or finally get pointed at something worth building. A man I'll call Teodoro had a T-square with a focal Saturn, and for a decade he described his life as constantly at war with myself. Ambitious on one side, terrified of failure on the other, exhausted from a fight with no finish line. At 38, almost by accident, he took on a 5-year construction project that demanded exactly the discipline his Saturn had been begging him for the entire time. Teodoro didn't need less internal conflict. He needed a project big enough to actually absorb it. Once he gave his focal Saturn something structural to build, the war he'd been fighting with himself for 10 years quietly became the exact discipline that got the project finished on time, under budget, better than anyone else's. That's the entire use of knowing your T-square. Not less tension, just tension finally aimed at something that can hold it. If you've ever felt like you're constantly at war with yourself for no visible reason, like this video. Comment your rising sign, moon sign, and sun sign below if you want help figuring out whether you're carrying a T-square you've never pointed anywhere. This is Shadow Work, the series that names the pattern underneath the pressure, not just the pressure itself. Subscribe if today's episode explained a fight you've been quietly having with yourself for years.